Okay, we are going to find real zeros using, as I put, all the tricks. I've got them listed over here. It's going to guide us as we work through those. Let's give it a shot. So how many possible zeros are there? We're going to always look again to the highest exponents and say that we have 5 possible roots. All right. Next, we're going to use Descartes' sign to find the number of positive and negatives. So to begin with, I have positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negative. So I have a change here, here, and here. So I can have 3 or 1 positive roots. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that same thing, but I'm going to change the signs. Remember that if I put a negative in to the odd exponent, it's going to change it. So he's going to go from positive to negative. The even one stays from negative to positive. The even one stays, then negative, negative. So I've got 1, 2 changes, so I can have 2 or 0 negative roots. All right, so we know how many, we know the possible combinations that will add up to have those 5 possible roots. So now let's go ahead and use our P's and our Q's to find our possible ones we can choose from this set here. So if I put my factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, of course it's plus or minus here, 4, 6, and 12. And my possible factors of 2 are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. So from that set, I'm going to get basically the same thing on top because of dividing by 1. And then dividing by 2 will have some interesting effects. So I'm going to have plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, 4, 6, 12. And when I divide 1 by 2, I have a plus or minus half. 2 by 2 is 1, which we've already included. I'll have plus or minus 3 halves. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we only really have 2 possible fraction ones we have to work with. But of this set of possible roots, we're only going to have 5 total and possible combinations of positive and negative. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take this. The basic idea, once I've done that, is I'm going to use synthetic division until I get it down to x squared. At that point, I can factor use a quadratic. So taking my leading numbers here, I have 2, negative 1, negative 14, 7, 24, and negative 12. And let's go ahead and try a 1. I always say start small, right? So if I put a 1 in here, I'm going to get 1 times 2 is 2. Add them up. 1 and 1 is 1. Negative 13. Negative 13 and the 6 is, or negative 6. Negative 6, that's going to give me 18, and that's just not going to work, right? Okay, so let's backtrack and try a negative 1. Now, just so you know, this is the typical standard we're going to work with that way. You're just a guessing game. So negative 2, negative 3. Negative 3 and negative 1 is 3, which is a negative 11. Negative 11 and 1 is 11, which is 18. 18 times negative 1 is a negative 18, which gives me 6. Oh, so close. Now, if I have my numbers get really huge, I'll stop, but this still, that's just not going to be enough that way, right? Okay. So what I'm doing, really, I have a list. I mean, I'm not going to pick something that I don't have over here, but I can definitely take and cross off my 1s. Then I can try a 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Add up my column to get 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Add my column to get a negative 8. Negative 2 times, or negative 8 times 2 is a negative 16, which gives me a negative 9. That's going to give me a negative 18, which is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. Oh, There's nothing better than coming up with that 0. So that tells me that one of my roots is 2, and I'm 4 more to go. But I've decreased my value here, so now, just for the sake of keeping these separate, we're going to change our color. Remember, you're dropping down just the values that are left. I don't need that 0 anymore. I've already tried 2. Now, to be honest, there's possibilities that you might have duplicates, but rather than trying that, I mean, you could. I would just pick something different. So should we keep going? We've got positives. We can have 3 or 1. We've got 1, so let's see if we can't get a few more. Let's try a 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, which makes that 9. 27. See how big it's getting? I'll stop right there. There's no point if the numbers are going to continue to increase. And sometimes the trick to that is picking the opposite sign. So I can go with a -3, and sometimes the negative will help me. So that gives me that -6. And -3 times -3 is 9. 1 times -3 is -3. Oh gosh, see, still too big. All right. Notice that I'm just erasing this part. I like to use a whiteboard if I have a chance, because it's just easier to kind of fix than a bunch of pencil marks. Should we try a fraction? Let's try a fraction. Let's put 1/2 in there. Now remember, when you're timesing by fractions, you times the top, divide the bottom. So 2 times 1 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. And I get 4. 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. -6. -6 times 1 is -6, divided by 2 is a -3. And then -12 times 1, -12 divided by 2 is a -6. Random, right? Sometimes our fractions are going to be the ones that work for us that way. So we can add a +1/2 to our list. Now this suggests that I am not going to be doing 1 positive, I'm going to have 3. So I can try another one that's positive, or I can focus on negatives now. It's completely up to you what we do. Actually don't, I'm in control. So let's go ahead and take this gas guy here, 2, 4, -6, -12, and let's try, you know what, we haven't done a -2. Let's put a -2 in there that way, because we had the +2, the positive worked, and let's see what happens. So 2 times that, it's going to be -4, which is 0. Well, that makes that a 0. -6. -6 times -2 is 12. Okay. Of course, I wouldn't want to lose your attention, so I kind of knew we could get that way with that. So I have a -2. So I'm definitely not going to get 0. It looks like my roots are going to be 3 positives and 2 negatives. See, that pattern for Descartes is working. But now that I'm down to that x squared, I'm going to put all it in just so you can see that. That's the point when I can start to factor. That's that last thing on our list here. Now, what I have, of course, leaving out that 0, when I factor, I can factor out a 2. But I'm still always solving for 0. I'm trying to find those zeros. That's what the whole purpose behind the name. So dividing everything by 2 gets rid of that. Let's add the 3 to both sides. And I have x squared equals 3, divide an x. Now remember, you do a square root. I'm always going to say plus or minus the square root of 3, which is an actual value. It's a decimal of nature, but notice 1, 2, 3 positives because of that, and 2 negatives, and that is my set of possible roots. So the basic setup is kind of that, you know, find out how many till you can anticipate and you can stop, or you kind of know where you're going for. Try Descartes to get a feel for how many positive and negatives, and that's how I kind of eliminated to know what to expect. And then synthetic division, and it's a shortest way to do it, but don't be surprised if you have to erase and keep trying. Good luck.